Dream of living off of the totally passive dividend income your investments generate for you? What if that dream could get even dreamier? Want to know about stocks that are now paying out even bigger dividends than they were before? Then you have to check out today's video.
He is a best-selling author.
30-year-old Jason Fieber has a plan.
This guy retired at only 33 years old.
I don't know if I know too many people that have accomplished something like that.
He's really kind of a guru when it comes to passive income.
Before I get into today's content, please give us a big thumbs up if you find value in our videos. Helps us to get the word out and grow the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. I'm a die-hard fan of the dividend growth investing strategy. This strategy has my allegiance because it's been so rewarding. I literally get paid to own high-quality dividend growth stocks. That happens when I collect dividends from my holdings. Dividends are a portion of business profits returned back to the shareholders. Great businesses produce lots of profits and pay out lots of dividends. So, you own shares in a great business, then get paid dividends, right? Well, it's even better than that. That's because great businesses produce more profit year in and year out, and those dividends go up year after year too. So I don't just get paid dividends to own high quality dividend growth stocks. I get paid an ever larger sum to own these stocks. And these dividends are totally passive. This is totally passive growing dividend income. In a world where the costs of life are rising all the time due to inflation, you want to make sure that your passive income can keep up with that. Today, I want to tell you about 3 dividend growth stocks that just increased their dividends. Ready? Let's dig in. The first dividend increase I want to tell you about came from Kroger Co., stock ticker KR. Kroger just increased their dividend by 16.7%. It's been said many times that successful long-term investing is actually quite boring. It should be like watching paint dry. Well, it's hard to think of something more boring than a grocery store, yet there's a lot of money to be made in this simple, boring, easy to understand business model. Moreover, it's kind of difficult to argue that getting a 17% quote-unquote pay raise for doing nothing other than holding stock is boring. That's exciting stuff. This marks the 16th consecutive year of dividend increases for the supermarket chain. What's really incredible here is the dividend growth acceleration. Their 10-year dividend growth rate is 13.3%, which is already pretty impressive. But then you get a near 17% dividend increase here. That's when you know a business is firing on all cylinders and management is very confident in the future. Plus, you're layering that dividend growth on top of the stock's market-beating yield of 2.1%. The stock is up 24% year to date, but it doesn't look overly expensive. Most basic valuation metrics are roughly in line with their respective recent historical averages, and the 2.1% yield is actually 30 basis points higher than its 5-year average. I wouldn't say the stock is super cheap, but it's not unreasonable in this market, all things considered. The second dividend increase you should know about came courtesy of JPMorgan Chase & Co., stock ticker JPM. JPMorgan Chase just increased their dividend by 11.1%. I've got to be honest here, I was actually expecting something a bit bigger from JPMorgan Chase after they passed the Fed's latest stress test with flying colors. Still, it's difficult to get too upset about an 11% increase in your pay, especially when you didn't really do anything to receive it. I mean, I wouldn't be unhappy if I still had a day job and my boss gave me an 11% raise in pay after working hard day in and day out to receive it. This is the 11th consecutive year of dividend increases for the multinational financial services company. The stock now yields 2.6%. That market-beating yield is pretty attractive in this environment. Combining it with double-digit dividend growth makes it that much more attractive, with the bank reporting extraordinary numbers and buying back its own stock hand over fist. I expect this double-digit dividend growth to continue for the foreseeable future. Want something else to like about this stock? Well, how about the valuation? I like the valuation here. The price-to-earnings ratio is below 13, the yield is above its own 5-year average, and they just handed out a sizable dividend increase. Plus, they're run by arguably the best big bank CEO in America. I don't know what else investors could want. Lastly, let's talk about the big dividend increase that came in from Matson Inc., stock ticker MATX. Matson just increased their dividend by a monstrous 30.4%. Yeah, 30% more money for shareholders for doing practically nothing. Being a shareholder is a great gig, I must say. This huge dividend boost is a bit of a surprise, as their 5-year dividend growth rate is only 5.2%. Talk about dividend growth acceleration, this stock is killing it. The shipping services company has now increased its dividend for 10 consecutive years. The yield of 1.9% would kind of demand a higher dividend growth rate in order to make sense of the stock, and that's exactly what Matson just delivered. With some of their more recent quarters showing amazing growth, Matson is positioned quite well. Business performance can justify some of the stock performance, which has been nothing short of breathtaking. This stock is up 133% over the last year. It's absolutely crushed the broader market. Even with that, most of the stock's basic valuation metrics aren't out of line with where they've been on average over the last 5 years. Now, this kind of business can be quite cyclical in nature, so you have to be kind of careful with that. That said, if there's a sizable dip in this name, it would be something you'd want to have on your radar. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give us a like if you did, and let us know in the comments what you think about these dividend increases. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss out on new content. Also, take a look at the description box below for some important links, including the link to my personal stock portfolio. This 6-figure portfolio, which I call the Fire Fund, generates enough passive dividend income for me to live off of. It allowed me to retire in my early 30s. I've made my portfolio entirely accessible over a Patreon, and I also post alerts there whenever I buy or sell a stock. I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm often invested in the same high-quality dividend growth stocks that I make videos on. Over the years, I've heard from thousands of investors who have been profiting from many of the same exact stocks that I own. So if you think this is something that you could benefit from as well, check the link in the description to see my portfolio and start getting my buy and sell alerts. I'll see you next time.